I see them, though. The soldiers on leave, and the mothers and wives who come each day to scan the platform, hopefully for a son or husband, before leaving alone. You can always tell the ones who are trying to flee. They try to look normal, as if just going on vacation. But their clothes are too tight from the layers padded underneath, and bags so full they threaten to burst at any second. They do not make eye contact, but hustle their children along with pale, strained faces. The buzzing noise grows louder and more high-pitched. It is coming from the train I'd heard screech in earlier, now parked on the far track. I start toward it, past the nearly empty coal bins, most of their stores long taken for troops fighting in the east. Perhaps someone has left on an engine or other machinery. I do not want to be blamed and risk losing my job. Despite the grimness of my situation, I know it could be worse, and that I am lucky to be here. Lucky. I'd heard it first from an elderly German woman who shared some herring with me on the bus to Den Haag after leaving my parents. "You are the Aryan ideal," she told me, between fishy lip smacks, as we wound through detours and cratered roads. I thought she was joking. I had plain blonde hair and a little stump of a nose. My body was sturdy, athletic, until it had begun to soften and grow curvy. Other than when the German had whispered soft words into my ear at night, I had always considered myself unremarkable. But now I'd been told I was just right. I found myself confiding in the woman about my pregnancy and how I had been thrown out. She told me to go to Wiesbaden and scribbled a note saying I was carrying a child of the Reich. I took it and went. It did not occur to me whether it was dangerous to go to Germany, or that I should refuse. Somebody wanted children like mine. My parents would have sooner died than accepted help from the Germans. But the woman said they would give me shelter. How bad could they be? I had nowhere else to go. I was lucky, they said again when I reached the girls' home. Though Dutch, I was considered of Aryan race, and my child, otherwise shamed as an unheerlijks kind, conceived out of wedlock, might just be accepted into the Lebensborn program and raised by a good German family. I'd spent nearly 6 months there, reading and helping with the housework, until my stomach became too bulky. The facility, if not grand, was modern and clean, designed to deliver babies in good health to the Reich. I'd gotten to know a sturdy girl called Eva who was a few months further along than me. But one night she awoke in blood, and they took her to the hospital, and I did not see her again. After that, I kept to myself. None of us would be there for long. My time came on a cold October morning, when I stood up from the breakfast table at the girls' home and my water broke. The next 18 hours were a blur of awful pain, punctuated by words of command, without encouragement or a soothing touch. At last the baby had emerged with a wail, and my entire body shuddered with emptiness, a machine shutting down. A strange look crossed the nurse's face. "What is it?" I demanded. I was not supposed to see the child, but I struggled against pain to sit upright. "What's wrong?"
"Everything is fine," the doctor assured. "The child is healthy."
His voice was perturbed, though, face stormy through thick glasses above the draped cream sheet. I leaned forward, and a set of piercing coal eyes met mine. Those eyes that were not Aryan. I understood then the doctor's distress. The child looked nothing like the perfect race. Some hidden gene, on my side or the Germans', had given him dark eyes and olive skin. He would not be accepted into the Lebensborn program. My baby cried out, shrill and high-pitched, as though he had heard his fate and was protesting. I had reached for him through the pain. I want to hold him.